Hello, we're going to have a look at converting fractions to percentages. And the thing that you need to be able to do first of all is you need to be able to convert fractions to decimals, because we can't really turn them to percentages unless we can turn them into decimals. So if you haven't watched that video, go and have a look at the converting fractions to decimals video, and that will help you with the first stage, and then I can quickly run through how to turn them into percentages. So first of all, this one's quite an easy one, 36/100ths. Because a percentage is a hundredth. So 1% is 1/100th, and percentages are hundredths. So if you think of a percentage as a fraction, so 36/100ths, well, if 1/100th is 1%, so 1/100th equals 1%, 2/100ths would equal 2%. And therefore 36/100ths must equal 36%. So if it's hundredths, it's very simple, because that means that it is the percentage. Hundredths are the percentage. So let's have a look at this then. 7/10. Now, this again we can do quite easily, because 7/10 we can do it in two ways. We can think, oh, I can turn this into hundredths. So if I turn 7/10 into hundredths, I've turned the bottom one into a hundred, so I timesed it by 10, I multiplied it by 10. Let's get rid of that, and let's put it over there. So what have I done to the bottom? To turn 10 into hundredths, I've timesed it by 10. So if I do the same to the top, so if I've times that by 10. If I times that by 10 as well, I've got 70. So I've got 70/100ths. Now 70/100ths, we've just learnt, equals 70%. So 70/100ths equals 70%. Or what I could do is let me do a little bit of rubbing out here. I could turn it into a decimal. So let's turn it into a decimal. So I know that 7/10ths, if I put 0.7, that's the tenths column, so 0.7, and then if we look at how to turn decimals into percentages, 0.7 is the same as 0.70, that's the hundredths column, so I've got 70/100ths, so I've got 70%. So tenths and hundredths, nice and easy. Now this one, 1/5, is slightly different. So I can do the same thing. I can use an equivalent fraction and turn the 5 into hundredths. So I could do that. So let's do 1/5 equals hundredths. So what have I done to turn the 5 into hundredths? Well, I've timesed it by 20. So if I do the same with the top one, times the top one by 20, I end up with 20/100ths, which equals 20%. What I can also do is I could turn it into a decimal by seeing how many 5s go into 1. Well, 5s don't go into 1, so I need to use some decimals. So how many 5s go into 1? None. So our remainder goes across, so now it's 5s into 10. 5s into 10 go 2, remainder 0, and 5s into 0 go 0. I've got 0.20, which is 20%. Let's have a look at that one in a little more detail with 7/8, which is a bit more complicated. So can't turn the 8 into hundredths. That won't work. 8 is not a factor of 100. It won't go into 100. So what I need to do is I need to see how many 8s go into 7. Because, let's have a little think about this, 7/8 is the same as saying 7 divided by 8. This line here is a division when we have a fraction. So it's 7 divided by 8. So that's what I'm trying to work out. I'm doing 7 divided by 8. So let's put some decimals in, don't forget it up there. So 7s into 8 don't go, so 70, well 8 eighths is 64, so it must be 8. 8 times 8 is 64, and that's remainder 6. So 7 eighths are 56. So if I go 7 eighths are 56, and I've got a remainder of 4. So now, here we go, 8s into 40 go 5, and I've got no remainder. So I've got 0.875, 0.875, but the problem with that is I've got 87% there, but I've got a 5 as well, so all we need to do there is say I've got 87.5%, because I've got 875 thousandths, or 87.5 hundredths. So 87.5 hundredths is 87.5%, because percentages are hundredths. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Come back soon.